Okay. We are called to obey the laws of the land that we live in, right? However, we have a higher allegiance and responsibility to God because we are image bearers of Him. We are created in God's image, which means we have to obey God's law, priority over land. But He doesn't tell us to disobey the land. We only get to disobey the land laws and regulations if they contradict God's. So if they're saying to us like, oh, curse God, we're not going to do that. That's when we're allowed to disobey because it contradicts God. That's a higher allegiance. We are image bearers of Christ. We are created in God's image. Now, just as there's laws of this land, just because we get to choose not to believe in those laws, like I don't believe in that law. I don't agree with that. Okay. And just because we don't agree with it and we don't like it does not mean that that law and regulation does not exist because we choose to not believe in it or whatever. Same for God. Now, we all were born on this planet Earth with a purpose and a responsibility, right? A mission on this earth. And just because we choose not to believe in God, because we have the free will to do that, right? He doesn't force us. He's a gentleman. He doesn't force us to believe. Does not mean that God does not exist because we choose not to believe, or that we don't have a responsibility or a purpose just because we choose not to believe in Him. Got it? I just felt like I had to say that disclaimer because I know my saying is choose Jesus, because choose Jesus, but you do have the option to not choose Jesus, but that doesn't mean that there's not a consequence to not choosing Jesus. Just because you choose to believe that He does not exist and, you have that option. But that doesn't mean that there's not a responsibility. Okay. Now, we're going to learn about the Sadducees. I'm saying it right now because I was saying it wrong before. The Sadducees, they asked what about the resurrection? Now, the Sadducees this is the same day that, the Pharisees tested Him. Now, the Sadducees come and they say these Sadducees don't believe in the resurrection. And they come to say to Jesus, Teacher, Moses says that if a man dies, having no children, his brother shall marry his wife and raise up offspring for his brother. Now there was 7 brothers, and the first brother died, and after he married and had no offspring, he had no children. And he left his wife to his brother. And likewise,